Welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons with the Monoquim Manhunt. This is, I think, session 2. We're officially launching into the game, and my players, when you find yourselves at the start of today's session, two of your party members are being picked up off the ground as they were just about to die. You could feel the air potentially leaving Kaz's lungs as he was nearly dead. You sort of sees the light come back to his eyes, the sun shining down overhead, and Chacho, the barbarian, the barbarous skeleton, leaps up onto his feet and immediately cracks light onto a torch. As he lights the thing up, you can smell just a light hint of some gaseous material he uses to burn the thing to life. The other adventurers, those forest folk, we have Alacuin as well as Scorchmaple, who are looking down, picking them up, helping them back to their feet. Those of you who are just arising, you can see behind them 2 Dryads staring out underneath this massive, gigantic tree that SPC would love to turn into some lumber for the city. Benny the Basher, however, will be unable to get them their lumber because he lies down in a pool of his own blood just a few feet away from you right then and there, where he has bled out and has unfortunately died, his soul already being carted off to one of the great 8 infinities beyond. And although your situation, quite perilous as it may seem to you, it is completely contrasted by the sound of light bird song in the distance, the smell of fragrant flowers, the sap coming down from the trees at this time of the year, entering our springtide seasons. Team, underneath the dappled sunlight of your adventure, what would you like to do today?
Well, we gotta rest for a second. Are we allowed to we should probably search these guys and then take a little break. How long do we need it to let you guys get your energy back?
That's a good question.
I still got 1 rage left before I need any type of rest to use anything.
Okay, I just want to make sure you guys are gonna
all my hit points, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, where are you? You're back to
one
normal.
could say you could level up your outlook and not need any sort of rest.
Okay.
If you think about it that way.
Nice.
That's
But
right,
what are those science
Scorchmaple is
yours?
correct as a character. Since you've just leveled up, this is something that, for those of you who don't hear me say these things off of cameras, every single time the players level up, it'll be like they've had a long rest. All of their resources will be restored, and the adventure will continue. Now, they can camp if they'd want to, but they don't have to do so. It probably makes sense if they do so, but Scorchmaple is correct. Since you've just leveled up, you are right back into full HP, and our Barbarian is not 1 hit point from death. Still has less health than our Wizard, but is a little bit healthier, not gonna go down immediately this time.
Nice. What about those Dryads there, Scorch? Do you think you can have a little chat with them? Or can they show us the way through the forest so we can get safe to our quarry? We're trying to find this guy who's hiding out in the forest.
Don't ask him because he's going to shoot an arrow at him again. You know what that happened last time?
Oh, the Dryads are his friend, though. He's a Dryad. He's a Dryad.
I'm joking.
Let me go see.
Scorchmaple, as you walk over towards the Dryads underneath the tree, you notice that they have floated their way over, never quite touching the ground. Almost as though where the plants reach up towards them, the Dryads, as they sort of skate along the top of the petals or the leaves, and the leaves just sort of almost like they're bouncing on a bouncy house, keep rising and lowering magically to where their feet are located. You can see that they're currently in the process of trying to touch the knight, potentially to read his energies, make sure that he's dead, perhaps grow flowers out of him. Whatever the case may be, they haven't quite touched the chainmail armor or the body that you're looking at there. Now, team, as Scorchmaple goes over closer towards the Dryads, is there anything else that somebody would like to do in the meantime? Any checks, perhaps?
Yeah, can we search them? I'd like to search the dead guys.
You can go right ahead and begin searching the dead guys. Do you want to start with Benny the Basher, or do you want to start with the knight?
I think the knight, because I'm worried they're gonna do something to change the things I need.
Sure, you get down adjacent to the downed knight and begin to try and take your oozy hands and pour them through the carapace of his armor. Go ahead and give me a investigation check for that. What does anybody else want to do? Chacho, Kaz, you watch as your friends start looting corpses. The other one goes to talk.
I know he's gonna pull out golden teeth and stuff like that. I know. I'm starting to wonder about our teammate here. No, I do have a spell I can use, and it's Zone of Truth. We can find out what's going on with them, but that's.
I got a 13 on my investigation check. My favorite number.
I will get right there. 13, favorite number, eh? You got a lucky one. So Kaz, do you want to do that? Do you want to cast Zone of Truth?
Is it a good time to do it or not, or is it something that after we talk to them or something, or?
Party, what do you guys think? Your friend wants to cast Zone of Truth. What do you think about that?
I think the Dryads aren't lying, are they? Are they liars?
I think they're liars, and we need to burn them.
What?
I have no reason to suspect they might be dishonest. It will take you 10 minutes to cast, however.
Oh, let's not do
that idea.
And if you're concerned with getting out through the forests quickly, that might not be the best course of action.
Yeah.
Chacho. What is Chacho
That was
think?
the
lying
Dryad
little
way of
Dryads?
saying this action is inadvisable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we want to follow these guys.
All
They're
right.
at-
Anything else you want to do, Kaz? Anything else you want to do, Chacho?
Yeah, search a body, buddy. I searched one. You got to search one.
Body.
How many bodies are there? There's only one. I think
There's
There's
three.
two dead guys in front of me, right?
There's the two knights, and then there's Benny the Basher. Poor Benny.
Who did he search? My internet or something went out for a second.
Oh, I can bring you back. Are you in the Tailspire?
Yes, I am.
So I searched the one night. So there's still Benny the Basher, and then the other night. to
Oh,
search.
Benny the Basher. Give me Benny the Basher.
You want to investigate him?
I'm going for
Yeah.
Benny the Basher, man. He's mine. I got first dibs on Benny because he's got all the gold. We know it.
How did you call it? What are you talking about?
Because he gave me first right. He gave me first right of refusal. I didn't refuse, did I?
Let's roll for it.
All right. I'll tell you what. I'll make you solid. You just make me solid next time. You go ahead.
Yeah? All right,
Yeah,
I'm
it's all
doing it.
yours.
Not gonna argue
All
with
right. You go right ahead
do I
over to
gotta
the
do?
body and go and give me an investigation check, just the same way that Alacuin recently did. And while they're making those checks, Scorchmaple, we come back to you as you've floated your way, or you've walked through the brush over towards the Dryads. They see you approaching, but they do not take their hands away from the knight, his body.
Let's
What do you
still
want to
roll
say to him?
20. I rolled a 20.
I would like
Custom rolled
to
20.
reach down and inspect the body of this one, and also ask, what did the wild say these ones were truly here for?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check. They reply to you, the Dryads, or if you can hear them creak, the wood creaking from their body. You watch as little pieces of fern fall out of them, sort of falling onto the ground and begin to root themselves back down into the earth. And when the Dryads do finish turning to you and the creaking of their wooden bodies stop, they say, "They were harming our children." And they gesture to those ferns that have just dropped. "Long have we tended this grove. Long have we waited for our children to grow big and tall and strong, to birth others like us. And yet, the city cares not for our offspring." There's a little trombone sadly plays into the distance. You can see little ferns rising up and sadly calling out, a small little chorus igniting.
I think Chacho's mocking them.
No,
Their
definitely.
story.
They're children.
I see.
Should I tell it?
From the sounds of it, it seems these interlopers are not alone. There will be more to follow.
In fact, you say that they're not alone, there'll be more, and the Dryads point away from you, past you, over towards Chacho. The flamboyantly rainbow-colored skeleton that was with the knights mere seconds ago, before they had been slain. And the dryads, their little prickly thorns poke out of their hands, almost as though they're prepared to throw them like daggers across the field. The dryads say to you, "Why have you not destroyed this one? There is one that yet remains. And instead you've worked with it. You have brought it back from the brink. Do you turn against us? You and I, we are the same. These children
No, my
are
friends.
ours. This grove belongs to each of us."
No, my friends, this vibrant creature assisted in dispatching the interlopers. I believe they might have information as to, oh, he's really looking, and then he's taking all of it. Okay, he's taking all of his stuff. Yes, friends.
You turn around and notice that Chacho is in the process of opening up his anal cavity and just ripping as much as he possibly can out of the man bleeding out or dead onto the ground, taking stuff from the loincloth, ripping things out of the fur boots, just taking everything that exists on this man's corpse.
The best
Wow,
is always hidden in the anus.
He's really going at it. Oh, okay. Well, as you can see, he clearly has no loyalty to the deceased interlopers. Perhaps we can use him in understanding their purpose here and how we can remove them from the forest.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. And when you do so, for your 13, as you go down towards the knight to investigate, you do find that he's wearing chainmail. That's pretty obvious. You can also see that he's wearing this long cape that has this, it's sort of blue, like ocean blue colored cape with this sort of electrum filigree around the sides. Kind of looks like something between silver and gold. Very shiny. You can definitely tell it's a metallic product of some kind. It's meant to look like sand along the edges of the ocean. Beyond that, he's clearly got a long sword as well as a gold pouch. I should have asked if you were ready to write. And he has a gold pouch that is containing 12 gold pieces currently.
Nice. So
He
can
does
I
have a shield, and the shield has the insignia of Southport City on it, which is just sort of like almost if you could imagine the symbol of the rebellion from Star Wars, but inverted, such that the circle is on top, and it's got 3 points facing downwards. It's meant to symbolize where the land touches the sea.
Ooh.
It's like a little wave on the bottom.
So I like to get that gold and then that nice cloth with the filigree on it. I think I'd like to appropriate those.
You can absolutely take that. And since you have a 13, you Scorchmaple, you get the same things that Alacuin gets.
I shall take the gold. If he's taking a cape, I already have my cape of leaves.
Oh, let me get this straight. Let me. You were gonna take the cape, but since he took the cape, now you don't want it, huh?
No. I was only going to take it in case we needed it for further
We have different
investigation.
knights,
If
don't
there's
we?
already one.
I think they're different nights, right? No?
Oh, yes. No, but we don't need more than one. I was only going to take one for investigative purposes.
I see.
And it's also at this moment that, Chacho, you are currently bending down. You said you had a 20, is that correct?
I did.
You've bent over. You are robbing everything that this man has. Are you ready to write?
Yeah.
What's that mean? Right.
What?
Like, with a pencil or
Pen.
Yeah.
type it out, like
Type it.
writing.
You can type it. You know. You do got
I'm
it.
right here.
Quite
I'm ready.
literally.
I'm ready.
Sorry, the way you looked back at me, I was like, oh, maybe he's not ready. No, you're ready. All right, so first and foremost, you find +1 leather boots. These have bear hide along the edges. Bear hide fur goes all the way up to your knee. You know that these boots would give you a +1 to your armor class so long as you're wearing them. You cannot combine these with armor, however. Only unarmored characters can use these. Which is good for
Which
you,
I have no
Chacho.
armor now, right?
Correct.
I have
You
no armor now?
Yes.
All right. And what was in the anus?
Yeah, I'm getting there. You also find on Benny the Basher his loincloth of durability.
Oh.
Ooh.
The loincloth of durability, should you wish to add it or wear it on your exterior, looks as though it's made out of deer skin hide. However, it's got like a set of rhinestones around the edges, almost as though you were some Las Vegas performer. Looks real shiny and sparkly, especially if you were under a spotlight.
Or you were a multicolored skeleton.
Yes, that's right.
Chacho.
There's also a belt buckle with the insignia of his house crest on it. Clearly looks
All right,
as though that this loincloth should have at one point in time been like a much nicer pair of breeches. Something that someone from the noble class might have used, but he has just carved it all the way down to its bare loincloth bottoms to be closer to nature.
Does this have any underwear on under that? Or is this just, we're just gonna go...
No. That's
And
not how
I'm
Benny,
not allowed, I
Benny
got no
rolled.
underwear either. We're just going straight
Yeah.
there.
You're a skeleton, though.
Alright. Is there anything else there? Or is this my
Hell yeah,
choice?
there is. Benny the Basher
Alright.
also had a +1 great club. You can tell that it's a magic item. Gives you +1 to attack and to damage with it when you're using the great club. You also know that this great club it has a specialty to it. It deals double damage when you are attacking trees. Or any creature that can be classified as a tree, like a Dryad. So, for example, if you wanted to randomly attack Scorchmaple, you would deal double damage against Scorchmaple.
Listen here.
Alright.
Is blue on blue allowed in this game or not?
Not unconsensually.
Not if he values
Yeah.
his life.
Yeah. Oh. Them's be fighting words. You also find inside of Benny the Basher's pockets 24 gold pieces,
Oh, he got
8
money.
silver pieces, 88 copper pieces.
I should have went for Benny.
Yeah,
Is
that's a lot more.
is this community property or?
You haven't decided as a group yet. You'll find out in a second. But you also find that he's got a note. Seems to have a cipher on it. It doesn't make any sense when you first start to read it. And you can see that it's got an insignia or the seal of his, the coat of arms of his family. And it's like tacked, like there's a real medieval, real crude looking staple at the top. Connecting it to another page that also has a cipher on it. And seems to have an insignia of the city, SPC, on it.
Valuable
Furthermore, keistered right up there for protection are 2 health potions. One that is cracked and broken, the health having already been consumed by the cavity. You reckon immediately in this moment from your investigation that if you were to similarly shove such a health potion into a place, that you could very quickly absorb the energy and the health on a moment's notice. If only you were made of flesh.
Right.
Fortunately, you bag
I
of
am.
bones, you can't make use of that extra ability. But congratulations on gaining the effects of Benny the Basher.
All right. So I just take it all, or
All of it that you want to take?
well, I mean, like
You could split it as a group.
The
It's up to
leather
you to
stuff seems
decide
like it might
that.
be useful for someone, maybe. But I definitely want the loincloth.
Well,
And,
Kaz, do you want that
belt.
potion, man? You're a fighter.
Yeah, I'm a human. I could use that, man.
And do you want my do you want the chainmail on my guy? Because I don't think I should use the chainmail, probably, right? Wizards don't use chainmail, do they?
I appreciate it. I already have chainmail though. I don't know if you can you?
I don't think I can.
You watch as Alacuin, this Oozoth creature, has their hands stuck inside of the person's body. You can hear a gelatinous sort of a slurping around sound as he raises the body and like a glue-like adhesive sort of brings the body up like a marionette and a puppeteer and goes, "Do you want the chainmail?" Sort of making the guy dance. Clink, clink, clink.
I already have chainmail, but you know,
Is it-
I have a chest I can put it in, and we can always trade it for later. I don't know.
Oh,
Remember, guys, in my inventory I have a chest.
and the shield too. Then we can put some stuff in there.
Yeah, we
Is
can
the
use my
great club
chest.
a one or a two-handed weapon?
Two-handed weapon.
There's
Alright,
a broad.
I-
I have a sword too there that you could, if you wanted, Kaz. I don't know if you already have a good sword though.
Oh, I got a broadsword already. Thanks. Real quick, you said the potion. I'd love to have the potion, man. What is it? What does it do? Is it something that we add to our
You
inventory
can put
list?
the
Medicine.
Ignis potion in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
It's
medicine
useless
potion.
to me.
It adds what?
It'll
what-
give you
what's
life. It won't give him life because he's a skeleton, but it will give you life because you have flesh.
the actual
Yeah, 'cause
name
I
of
don't
it
have
is.
I don't have anywhere to put it.
Oh, we got my chest. Throw it all in there. Thank you. Now this is a
All
potion.
right.
What is the actual potion name? And then it gives you what? It gives you.
It's the
immediate,
Keister potion, and it gives you 2d4 plus 4 healing.
2d4 plus 4 healing.
That's right. Slightly
thank you.
higher than your normal healing potion.
Cool. If you don't mind, I'll have that. Thanks for all the offerings.
All right. So can I get the? I'll take the like. I'm gonna skip the boots, cause yeah, and then I could take this great club, but I don't need to like use it right until
Yeah.
like if that comes up later, then I could switch weapons if we need
You
it.
sure can.
Well, the boots.
Alright.
Can I have those? Because I don't have armor. You said they're good for people without armor, right?
That's right. If you don't wear armor.
Yeah, totally. I think that helps us all. Yeah, go for the
Okay.
boots.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have the boots.
Very
I just-
well. There's a sort of a clashing, clanging sound as you drop the chainmail. You move and saunter on over to your other companions, and as you place your hands down onto Benny the Basher, you just sort of liquefy the boots right off of him. So there's a light little sound as the boots come off, and then you slurp into them.
Okay,
Right.
so what did I say about this stuff? This is like boot. I gotta write this in my what? I have boots, and they add what to me? Like
A plus
one
one to
to
your,
your
your
armor
armor class.
okay, and I have 12 pieces of gold, and what was the other thing?
All right. So
The filigree cloth. What was it called again? The filigree? It was a cloak cape,
The cape.
and is it magical or?
It does not appear to be magical. It looks as though it's something that they would have worn for insignias purposes or identification purposes.
I see. So we could get in with the belt buckle, with the notes. If we ever want to if we ever want to trick people to let us into the castle, we got all the ID papers now.
Perfect.
yeah, I want the bedazzled loincloth and belt
And who wouldn't?
and great club and then all the money. I don't know. Does someone want this cipher note thing? I mean, I
Sure.
think we probably need
I'll
to
take it.
pick it up, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Okay.
you go ahead. But I'll tell you
Alright.
what. Since I gave you first right of refusal, you can give me half that money. It'd be like quite nice.
All right.
Thanks. What does that come down to? I'll tell you what. We'll make you banker. How about that?
12 gold each, 8 silver or 4 silver each, and 44 copper each.
4 silver each and 44 copper each.
Yep.
Okay.
I got 2 pieces of paper with 2 papers with ciphers from South Park. What's it called?
Southport City.
Southport
SPC.
City.
You just call it SPC for short. Everyone does.
As they were
quick-
broken back then. I love it.
All right, I'm good with my. I think that's everything, right? I gave away the sphincter potion. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The Keister
And,
potion.
You got the boots.
Keister
you got
pot.
the cipher. Split the gold with Gus or Kaz. Sorry. And yeah. All right, we're good. Can I put that stuff on?
Yeah, you do so.
The
And as
loincloth
you're
and the
putting
belt?
that on, and you're like beginning to slide the loincloth up, you take the belt off and attach it to your waist, the Dryads turn back to you, Scorchmaple, as you've just told them that, you know, this person is absolutely going to be traveling with you. You've got a 13 for your persuasion check, is that right?
Yes, indeed.
And the Dryads sort of carefully look over your shoulder and say, there have been many who have tried to tell us that they are worthy to walk our woods. Many that say that they will not infringe upon our rights, infringe upon our homes. And we are so very often deceived. So many times they tell their little precious lies, begin to make homes out of us. I fear that this may be a similar scenario. Do not be fooled by this skeletal creature. It is a creature of death, not of life. What could it possibly know about our struggles? What could it possibly understand about the plants? I think that the reality is that it likely doesn't care about anything that lives or lives, including us.
My friends, I have a feeling that this one can't take too many hits. If they become a problem, I will see to it personally that any doubt is eradicated, as I too wish to honor this forest.
The Dryads nod to you and say, we agree, he is too weak. Let us take him together. And they would like to persuade you.
Oh no.
You watch as both of the Dryads dance over the night, spikes sharpening into their arms. Would you like to make an insight check?
I would love to make an insight check. Oh, that was almost a 24. Instead, it is a 14.
With a 14, you beat their persuasion by 1, as they got a 13, even with advantage. They had an 8 and then a 13, as they both assisted each other. You see the error of their logic, attacking right now when they're just off of the thrill of battle, and all three of them are over there on the other side. It's a 3 versus 3. You realize instantly that this is not the way of the forest, that to ambush targets who are unaware of your presence would be far greater strategies here in this area. And they are, after all, only made of wood. And you did just watch him pick up that +1 great club of wood smashing. So,
Out of his butt.
might not be a good time.
Might we reconsider? Besides, I'm sure that even if he will not willingly cooperate and give us information, we could always torture it out of him.
The Dryads look back to you with aplomb, sort of that you would dare suggest such a thing, but they turn instead to look over towards the pathway leading up to a singular palisades doors against the rock of a cliff face, and they gesture in that direction, saying, "Perhaps you would prefer to have a seat at the tavern. The last place, the last respite before the entering further into the jungles. There are many others like him, many armored folk who have ventured off into the jungles over yonder beyond the tavern. If that is the direction they go, we will sit and lie in ambush for him later. If you need us, that is where we will be. But we will not come back before night's fall to guard again this place, our brood. Is there anything that you would need of us, Scorchmaple?" They clearly know your name, as you've been in these parts. You belong of the same colony.
I ask no further from you.
Very well. And with that, the Dryads will begin to sort of make their way off towards the rocks. Team, you can see that the Dryads are beginning to leave Scorchmaple as you're finish looting and begin pulling. You know, you're just finishing pulling up the extra gear that you've looted. Scorchmaple comes back over to your group.
Kaz, did you grab that shield and broadsword there too for some extra loot later?
Yeah, I can. I already have a shield and a broadsword, but I can get another one. Can I put it in a trunk that I'm taking?
That's what I meant. Yeah,
Absolutely.
just grab it for selling later.
Okay, broadsword and a shield. Got an extra one.
Or it's like the complete outfit for the disguise. You know, set that SPC on it.
Yeah. I guess you can take 2 broadswords and 2 shields. I don't know how much room you have in your chest though.
Take it all.
Take it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way we're going to do encumbrance for this campaign is that there is no encumbrance. However, if you pick up something heavy like a log or a chair, like some furniture item, that will take up your heavy item slot. You can carry only one heavy item at a time, and the heavy item will potentially conflict with role player combat things. Like, for example, if you pick up a table and then you're like, I'm gonna hit it with my greatsword, I as the DM am gonna say, okay, listen, you're holding a table, maybe you want to put that down and then you can get your greatsword out, you know? So but like if it's like a really heavy barrel, then like, I don't know, maybe you can strap that to your back, lash it there with some rope. There are some items that are just beyond heavy that you'll need 2 people to carry, so if that comes up, I'll tell you. Otherwise, you can hold infinite things. I don't care if you have 600 shields, you only get the benefit from them once anyway.
Speaking of tables, Alacuin, Kaz, perhaps we should retire with this bright fellow. Perhaps we could buy you a drink in thank you for your assistance.
I'm in.
Chacho, he's talking about Scorchmaple was talking about you.
Yeah. We can go there. I can't drink or eat or whatever, but I'll hang out with you guys.
Sounds like a personal
That
problem.
will do.
It'll remind me of the good old days of the brothels.
I'm sure we could find something to suit your tastes.
Nice.
All right, I'm in.
You brandish your torch as you speak of the brothels of your past, and Scorchmaple goes on off towards that tavern. Team,
No, can we hide our stuff? I don't want them to see I don't want them to see that I have that cape or anything because they're gonna be like, "Where'd you get that cape?" Right? So can I put that in your chest there, Kaz? I don't want them.
Good idea. Let's take it
Hide
in
the
chest.
stuff. We don't want them to.
Hide it away.
Yeah.
keep it
We,
safe,
we
keep it
don't.
safe.
I mean, we got. Sorry, I got Denim King, but you know what? What's Denim King's name? Sorry.
Scorchmaple.
Oh,
we
it's
get
Scorchmaple.
the-
Scorchmaple. That's right.
Before we
You
get
know,
to
you
this
like-
tavern thing, can we look at this cipher?
Yeah, I mean, we're like tromping on into a tavern, and we're just gonna throw open the door. I mean, this is a total trap, and I think I've got some things that I don't know. Scorchmaple, you're making me nervous now. Maybe we
Scorchmaple
should
has
just-
already walked off. But the 3 of you
Oh.
remain, and perhaps that is for the better for you to discuss whether or not this is a trap.
I think we should figure out this cipher thing real quick. If it's not too difficult for us to solve, we might get some information about what's coming.
Like
All right. Should we do that at the tavern, or is that gonna be too dangerous? I guess that'd be too dangerous, right? To do it in the open.
I think we should stand
Either
in
way,
the meadow.
I think we should do that. Just not forget about it because clearly got to be something.
Yeah, this is just I'm very suspicious of this. I think we should try to read the cipher and figure out what that is. Take stock and sort of hide our loot. Maybe even hide the chest somewhere. If I start dragging in a chest, someone might say what
Alright.
do you got in there? I mean, we don't know who's in there. Let's just hide the stuff that we value and think they might be safe underneath some bush somewhere.
I like
The
it.
Dryads. I'm not sure about the Dryads though. Maybe they steal stuff.
Don't worry, I got this
Yeah.
bashing tool here.
Well, let's look at the cipher. Like, are we able to try to decipher it? Is there like a? I'm trying to think if I have a spell that would do that or not. I don't know.
Feel free to look at your inventory or come up with any ideas that you'd like to do.
So I have the cipher, right?
That's right. You have the pages in your hand,
Okay.
and you just sort of like waved them and said, "Hey guys, I have the cipher."
I thought I took them. You said you told me to take them, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, if you took them, then go. Yeah.
Yeah. I wrote them down in my inventory. That's all. I don't really care.
Alright.
But how do we look at them? Like it's I got some spells. I could do detect magic on them. That takes some time, doesn't it? Is that what we heard?
It does take some time. Now, whenever it's Dungeons and Dragons, right? So like the limits of what you can do are the limits of your imagination, right? And some minor mechanics. So you just kind of say what you want to do and script it out, and I'll take you along said journey. But you could just try and you could just do look at the thing and just try and see if your brain can comprehend what the cipher might be.
Yeah,
that would be probably an Arcana check.
Yeah.
Try and
'Cause I have
understand what that is. Alternatively, you could probably do like any sort of like insight check is probably the most fitting if you're trying to understand what it
I got
is that
Arcana
the
check.
code
I
is.
got a +5 on my Arcana. Inside I'm +0. So, do we think it's
And-
magic?
And within the bounds of your role play as well, you can do other things like, for example, if you want to solve the cipher, you can have Chacho say something along the lines of like, "Here, ooze guy, take this thing. Tell me what it does." You look like you might be experienced in the arcane, and you in reply might say like, you take it with your goopy hands, and all your ooze trails over the page. You're careful not to get any of the ooze on the lettering as you quickly begin to sort of very lightly dissolve or disfragment the edges of the page. And then you're just going to try to like scan down with your eyes, or maybe look for any like double T's in there, something like that, something that might give away a cipher. You could, within the bounds of your role play, you can do that sort of a thing.
I would suggest that we look at the pages separately, as one might answer the other. Because there's 2 pages, and I don't know why they would have that without.
Let's look at both of them. I take both of them in my hand. Scan them. Being careful not to in any way hurt the message. And I'm looking for anything that might give me a clue as to the nature of the cipher, whether it's magical or whether it is some type of brain puzzle.
Sure, go ahead and give me that Arcana check. Meanwhile, while that Arcana check's going on, is there anybody else that would like to make a check or interact somehow with the game world?
I guess the Dryads already left, right?
They have gone up towards the next hill, and it appears as though they have merged into a nearby tree. The one that's kind of like over here. They seem to have, you kind of watched from afar as they placed their wooden bodies adjacent to the tree and then entered inside of it.
All right, then. No, I don't have anything else to do yet.
I rolled an 8, which sucks. I had a +5 and I rolled a 3. So.
Oh no. Kaz, Scorchmaple, anything you'd like to do? Scorchmaple, you're on your way to the tavern. You turn around and clearly see that they have dead stopped and have not made any forward progression from where you last were.
But Alcuin, can I see the cipher? Can I attempt to discern its thoughts or its meaning?
Of course, I don't know if the DM said anything about the 8 or not, but
So with an 8, I'll usually, whenever I ask for a check, I'll usually try and give everyone a chance to do something as well. That way you're not waiting for like extraordinarily long turns and not getting anything right. Try to spread the game time around. But with an 8, as ever, I come back to everyone and get Scorchmaple back into the story. You're kind of looking down at the pages and you think to yourself, I think that sentence is I think that's a fish person word. Yeah, definitely a mer word. And you hold it up and you're like, it says here, geschloffend. And it seems fairly nonsensible to the rest of your team. But you're like dead certain that you've got the concept here. It's got like, you feel as though there's a little trace of a sparkle of magic about the stamps at the bottom. You kind of think you might be onto something here. He's not. The rest of the team. But anyway, after you hold it up and geschlurften, you see Chacho reach up and try and take it. His bony hands sort of rattling as he raises it to take the page from you.
So should I give it a roll?
Or you could do insight maybe, or or you're trying
I just wanna look at it and see if I remember, like, well, just how you looked at them, both of them in front, next to each other, so I can see one and the other, and notice if there's anything that relates them to each other.
Alacuin, are you gonna hand him the pages?
Yep, here you go, buddy.
When you get them, you feel a light stinging sensation at the corners of the pages, as though you had just touched a as though you had just touched one of those, like, one of those shock pens, and you get like a little bit of a, ooh, doesn't hurt, but it definitely doesn't feel great. And it seems just slightly wet. If pages can be wet, it's not cold. It's slightly warm, but it doesn't leave any residue on you. It's a very strange feeling in general. Go ahead and make an insight check as you look down at the pages.
All right. Inside.
Scorchmaple, is there something you were gonna say as you rejoined the group?
Yeah. Sorry, comrades, what is this? Perhaps you did not hear me. I said, why do we not retire to the tavern? I believe we had a whole exchange about, Chacho, was it? Chacho's tastes? Especially that in brothels?
Yes.
No?
Well, I've rolled a 1, so we can proceed to not. This idea did not work very well. I agree with you, Dryad, that we should move forward.
If only it were so simple.
Would you like group or personal pain?
That's right. That's right. Scorchmaple knows how it is. Critical failures here are treated as more than ordinary occasions. Would you like personal or group pain, Chacho, as you take the papers and try and understand them? Is this our first critical failure for the group?
Yeah.
If I roll
believe
1
so.
for insight,
We had a
do I
critical
have any way to
success
see
last
if
Yeah, we had a
time.
critical success. This is similar to critical successes in that the outcome will likely be magical and it will have some disastrous effect for you beyond like just normally reading a page. So you guys could be disastrous
I
for
rolled a
just
1.
you,
I'll take it
or it could be disastrous for everyone. Now, just know
Yeah,
there
I'll
are
take it.
three
I'll take it
kinds of
myself.
people, right? There are the kinds of people who who are just really selfish, and they never want to take their own pain, right? They want to push it on to everybody else. And when it comes to group successes, they always take it personally for themselves, right? Then there's group person number 2. This is the self-sacrificing individual who's like, oh, I got a success. I'll give everyone the group success, right? Oh, it's a failure. Well, I don't want to hurt everyone, so I'll just take personal pain, you know. And then there's the kind of person who does it, for the group, but like deep down inside, they hate it. They just really wish that it wasn't that way, but they're just not confident enough to seize their destiny, you know? Now, I don't know which one of these 3 you're gonna be, and we all back home can just be silently wondering to ourselves which it is, but Chacho, which one are you gonna take?
I'll take personal pain. I feel like I got the benefits of that 20 just right before. Pretty good. So I'll just take this. I guess we'll negate those things together.
All right, you find some balance in the madness. Very well. Would you like immediate failure or long-term failure? It gets more exciting.
Immediate failure. Give it to me.
Immediate, very well.
I don't know. We're about to enter a tavern. You know, you might. I don't know. You might want to prolong this one a little bit. Draw it out.
I do have one thing that I think is a skeleton. I think that short-term pain leads to the long-term gain.
No pain, no gain. I've heard that song. Anyway, As you begin to try and decipher the letters, it would appear as though that they have been booby-trapped against the undead specifically trying to access them. The pages immediately begin to crumple up, and when they crumple up, at first you're thinking to yourself, no, it's ruined, but then you realize that it's origami crumpling. They turn into these strange bird-like creatures. You can see these wings folding up, and then they combine to become this paper dragon. It rears up and goes, and then the paper flits into your stomach, well, where your stomach would be, your rib cage, and begins to rattle around and breathe ink jets into your skeleton, and you watch as your bone sort of like begins to atrophy and decay slightly while this paper dragon is inside of you. You have gained a familiar, the paper dragon. You may add that to your character sheet. It is not a good familiar to have.
Oh.
All right.
The pages in this format are also are illegible.
Sorry about that, guys. But I got this thing inside my body out of it. I think it wasn't on purpose.
What if there's a like, is there some type of magic I can do on this thing, or what? Like, this is crazy.
I was just
do
thinking. I got a
indeed have a
torch right
weird
here, and I
appetite.
got bones. So
I have a what?
He
I
does
got
indeed
my
have a weird
torch.
appetite.
Oh,
But I
maybe
don't
the
want to kill
dragon-
it yet.
Maybe the dragon could drink your alcohol there, buddy.
All right, I'll just leave the paper familiar in me and see if it starts to do something worse. Right now, it hasn't done anything worse to me yet. Right? It's my bones might be decaying.
That's right. Your bones slightly blackening. They don't appear as though they're enjoying
but
the ink.
It sounds like guys. It sounds like there's a way that there is a possibility still to get this cipher, just in this form. They are not readable.
Right.
So I don't want to. I'll take the pain in here to preserve it unless it gets real bad. Then we're gonna have to do something about this.
Yeah, some magic. I got to figure this out. Ugh.
Well, we definitely don't have the cipher. I think we're just gonna have to go forward here.
While you're talking about this, Scorchmaple, once again, determined, begins to walk off in the direction of the tavern, away from you, clearly unimpressed by your eating of the paper dragon.
My Dryad friend, I thought we wanted to go into the forest to chase after this bad guy.
Yes, but I believe our colorful friend might be able to give us some information. They said that they would be willing to talk to us, and we need to know if we can trust them to take us with, or to dispose of.
There's a rattling
I-
from the nearby trees, and a couple leaves fall down as the dryads. You can hear the druidic sound as it falls down, or the language of your people, and you can hear them singing to you on the breeze, saying, "We are ready."
Oh yeah, because they want to like jump him, don't they? Kaz, we got a problem here, buddy. We got two people in our party here that don't trust each other.
Yeah, but one of them has a giant tree bashing club, and
The dragon.
the other ones are trees. So, if he wants to lead us to a trap, like let's go. I have life this time, guys. I said, if they want to fight us, I feel like that's okay with me.
Let's. We know.
I don't
we've
want to
known,
fight, but if they want to fight us,
We've known Scorch for a while, and we like to have a drink with them. So let's go to the pub.
Yeah, I say it's like Scorch has been wanting to go into the pub for a long time. I think we should just like fall into that trap and just go for it.
all right, yeah, man.
Another arrow into the tree thing. I'm ready for it.
To be clear,
I'm
as
kidding.
your DM, I am not railroading you into a tavern, right? I've already told you there's 3 ways to leave the map. You know there's a tavern, but you got all kinds of options, right? So you don't have to go to the tavern. It's just available to you as an option.
With that, let's do it. Let's do it.
Very well. As y'all begin to walk off following Scorchmaple, down underneath the shade of the gigantic tree above you, the vines wiggle and they whisper sweet nothings. And to Scorchmaple, the sweet nothings are about murder. Sweet murder. But nonetheless, you do inevitably make your way up towards the steps, towards the tavern. You can feel the stone underneath is a sort of almost a sign of relief, as this stuff has clearly been cobbled and has been made by somebody from the city. The tavern, you are aware, those of you from SPC, not just the woodland folk here, are aware that this is the last tavern, the last sign of civilization leading deeper into the jungles. This is your last chance to know civilized people before you're left with whatever the wilds greet you with. But beyond that, something special does occur. Alacuin, as you're making your way over, you see the flower petals arrayed before the tavern just as Scorchmaple is about to get up towards those wooden areas. And you notice, you can sense below you in the earth is a cavernous opening. You realize, you sort of smell on the horizon the scent of your people, of petroleum that is resting within the bowels of the earth. You kind of just have this sensation, this almost like a tremor sensibility. You know that directly below you, some of your people are hiding or lingering. And there's more to this scene than meets the eye. Whether you tell that to your team or not is entirely up to you, my friend.
Oh. Aha.
Nevertheless, the sun shines down over top of your backs as you make your way further up towards the tavern. By that calm pause, I'm assuming you won't be saying anything, Alacuin. Is that correct?
Not just yet. Not just yet.
Very well, very well. Scorchmaple, as you get up towards the top, you place your wooden hands onto the edge of the gate, and you feel this dryadic sensation inside open and respond to you from your natural touch. You reckon that this is a magical door, and as soon as you open the thing, you look on inside and you begin to hear the sounds of music playing, but not any normal kind of music. Instead, there's this low sound as though there's some sort of shifting rock or a deep, deep tone of somebody's voice intoning as they sing further on. And the piano, all the way at the very far end, is being played by this halfling, or gnomish halfling type creature, perhaps even maybe a dwarf. It's kind of hard to tell. They're sort of misshapen their body and their sizing. They've got this long tankard that is sitting at the end of their beard that is just sort of levitating up into the air, and they're sort of like taking this long cudgel type thing and banging the piano keys. And yet with every bang of the keys, there's these long, deep tones that are playing almost more like a church organ of some kind. But it definitely looks more like a standing piano than an organ. There's no pipes or tubes. You can see that there's several different gnomes off into the distance that are eating. They've got these little pies in front of them, and some huge empty openings to your left and to your right showcase that there's clearly several suits of armor as well as weapons that have been laid down here. It's very obvious to you, especially Scorchmaple having come here before, that you are meant to lay down all of your arms at the opening here. And one of the tones from the piano, bonk, even says so with a low bassy tone saying,
"You've gotta leave your weapons behind. Cast off your armor, be a friend of mine."
Team,
Solid.
what would you like to do?
I lay down my bow.
You do so. Go over towards where several others have left their bolts, their arrows, and their ranged weapons, and you lay it down right into the crate.
I'll put my sword
Team,
down.
For those of you who do not have dark vision, you notice that the inn here, the tavern, is quite dark. The lighting is somewhat poor. Only the several little sconces off to the sides give just just the bare amount of lighting. But you recognize that if you don't have dark vision, you'd be at a distinct disadvantage if you had to fight in here, let alone without your weapons. And there is an earthen tone, almost like a cellar, a wine cellar of some kind, that you can sort of smell throughout the area. Long rug that greets your feet, sort of velvety.
All of us, I believe that I should use my second level ability of detect thoughts, which I've just gone, and we can see if we can detect any thoughts about whether or not this person is good for us or sending us, into a trap before we proceed.
I can hang outside if you guys want and guard the door.
Scorchmaple, as you are only standing a mere 10 feet away, you hear the barbarian distrustfully attempting to detect your thoughts. Because, normal speech works that way.
How far can
You
you
have an issue with the way that I've spared your life.
I am going to use this detect thoughts on you.
Do you do that? Do you detect thought? Do you cast detect thoughts? Or when you tell Scorchmaple?
I'll save you the breath.
What about on the dwarf? You don't know the dwarf. The halfling.
Does it just go on to one person, or is it? I don't.
Yeah, when you use detect thoughts, you're gonna get like this this radius of effect, right? And so it's gonna be like anybody within this 30-foot area, and then you just get to like focus on people. So you'll just like, it's almost like you can look at their brains and be like, that's the brain. I want to do that one. And you'll focus in on it. You get the surface level thoughts of what they're thinking. So for example, if you were to detect thoughts on me right now, you'd know that I was very self-conscious about the way that I moved my body mid-speech. And then you'd be given a chance. Do you want to pry deeper into any motivations or reasoning that person has? They get a saving throw at that point. And then if they fail, you get to learn more. But regardless, they'll know you dove into their brain. Now, I'm not going to tell you my reasoning because you didn't pass my saving throw.
Oh. All right. Yeah, I think this is the best idea. I'm doing it.
All right. So,
determine.
Scorchmaple, you say, let me save you some time, or whatever it is you're about to say. And he just does it. Like, you're right in the middle of trying to retort, and he just, bang, cast detect thoughts. These white seeker divination lines begin to flash over towards your character. And I need you to tell everyone here what your initial service level thoughts are.
If this colorful person cannot be trusted, I will kill them. If they cannot prove that they are to be trusted.
That is the service level thoughts of Scorchmaple. Scorchmaple, what were you saying in response while he was reading your thoughts?
Let me save you the breath. If you cannot be trusted, I will kill you here in this doorway.
Oh god, I love it when it just matches up. I'm +1 inspiration.
I would like to delve deeper.
Amazing. I'm gonna assume that everyone's okay with this, but if not, is this non-consensual PvP for anybody? I didn't think so. So what happens now is that Scorchmaple is going to make a Wisdom saving throw, and the difficulty class for that will be your spellcasting modifier. In this case, that'll be 8 plus your proficiency bonus of 2, plus your I believe for you this would be intelligence governed skill, so your intelligence modifier. That's the number they need to beat. Out of curiosity, Kaz and Alacuin, while this heated exchange goes on and you enter into the building, is there anything you'd like to be doing? The door does, you can hear the wood beginning to groan as the Dryadic wood begins to close.
Huh.
I want to stand outside and keep guard, but
hey, buddy, I'll go outside with you.
Yeah, I mean, because it's team cohesion stuff is not happening right now. I mean, you guys people with some issues.
What's going to happen, and we'll step out of it.
Yeah, you guys suss it out, and then once you get it all done, we'll go back in. I mean, other than that, I just want to walk like right over and just grab a beer. I mean, I'll put them. I don't know. What do you guys think I should do?
Oh, do you want to step outside or do you want to go grab a beer?
Hey, Chacho, is it okay if we go outside, or do you want us to be here just to make sure?
No, yeah, I'm good with you guys heading outside for a second. I just want to delve into the thoughts really quick. And I also have like a radius here, so I might be able to perceive some other trap. I think it's actually better for you guys to be outside.
Put us
So
outside.
that you can potentially come back
All
in
right.
Because he
without the
can't.
trap.
He can't perceive.
Yeah, we'll
our
come back.
thoughts.
I'll come back for you if
Oh, he could.
You go right outside, and as soon as you do, the Dryadic door closes
crap.
back up. The wood returns to its calm state.
Just the two
Chacho,
of
you
us.
wave them farewell as you turn back around to Scorchmaple. And you delve deeper.
Nice.
Scorchmaple, what is your wisdom saving throw? Unless you don't want to resist. You just let him delve deeper.
A 16.
Now, does a 16 beat your difficulty class, Chacho?
I don't know.
Your difficulty class for the spell would be 8 plus 2, your proficiency bonus, and then the small number next to your intelligence score.
-1.
So 8 plus 2 minus 1 is 9. 16 is better than 9. So you try to delve deeper and you find a hardened wall of bark between you and Scorchmaple's inner thoughts. Scorchmaple, you were aware that he tried to delve deeper and read your mind.
What business do you have in this forest? Speak true, or know that I could kill you without my weapons.
I have the sense that you've been very persistent at us moving towards this direction, and your persistence is with your kin. And last time you made an action such as the arrow shot, which led us into danger, and I just wanted to check all was good before we went in. Plus, your dryads did try to kill me. You just rolled a level that did not actually allow you to kill me. I think we'd already be dead in this fight. Yeah. We need not trust each other to proceed forward as allies at this point.
What is it you seek? And perhaps we may be allies.
I seek the truth and a good time in this tavern.
Then you shall have it.
May we allow, as a sign of good faith, the door to be opened and our friends to be allowed back in before we move forward.
I don't know if the DM was picking up what I was putting out, but that snap was opening the doors.
I'm
All
still
good.
hanging outside, man. You guys figure this out, and then we'll
For a moment.
tell us the results.
Kaz, Alacuin, you step outside the door to the return of the sunlight and the beautiful scent of the fragrant flowers adjacent to you. They're light, airy. It almost makes you remember just how empty you are inside. Not emotionally, but physically needing, ale or food, perhaps. Almost as though perhaps the tavern has placed it there for a purpose or reason. Regardless, you're clearing out of that fight, but is there anything you want to say or do as you just sort of step out and...
Yeah, I kind of... Oh, sorry. I kind of want to find out. You mentioned earlier that there's some plasma people underneath us that might be friendly with...
He did not say that.
I didn't mention that to you, but I'd like to
Oh, that's
tell
right.
you. I'd like to tell you that there's some of my friends might be here, and I'd just like to really do a quick check because I'm not sure what's going on, but it feels like some of my own people are here underground. Now, how do I talk to them? Can I try to speak through? I'm trying to think. Can we kind of look around and see if there's any holes that would let me figure out how to speak into the cavern?
You absolutely can, yeah. You can do a nature or a survival check. You can do a history check. The history check would be like if you were trying to remember how it is that your people generally hide or build their homes. Survival to try and find any tracks leading to that location. Nature for any like disturbances in the natural surroundings. You could do perception or investigation. There's so many options here.
Oh, okay. Let me just double check here what my levels are. So, yeah, I'll go with the investigation. I got a +5 on my investigation. So I can roll that?
Yes, sir.
All right. I got a 14 on my investigation.
With a 14, you begin to make your way down the pathway, and you look immediately off to your left, seeing a large growth of bushes and these like strange, almost like a little grotto that's there. And you think to yourself, hold on a sec, I think I've seen this one before. Yeah, I should just go to the center of it. And when you do so, you wading your way through the center of the shrubberies, you find yourself just like a liquid seeping down in underneath all the bushes as you drop down beneath them. And when you do so, dropping beneath them, I will remove the shadow, the darkness from the board, and you will see that there is, in fact, underneath the bushes, if you drop your green diamond, there was a hidden map underneath the other map all this time.
Whoa.
You've unlocked the bonus rooms.
What?
See,
As
you didn't have to tell me, but I kind of had this feeling.
As you slurp down there into the next level, you can easily see other Oozoth creatures, their green plasmoid exterior glowing in the Underdark down here, where otherwise we would be unable to see. And as those fluorescent lights are glowing, you notice around you the sound of chittering little noises. The trash begins to move underneath your feet, and you look down and around your slurpy body to notice that there are piles of bone, clothed in detritus from trash that's been tossed down from the tavern, and drunkards that were left behind. Little scatter critters begin to leap up, eyeing up their potential next meal. And then they notice you don't have flesh. And they wiggle and waddle over to you, their little scaled bodies, and they begin to try and like go onto their backs, much like a cat would, reaching their little strange antenna up into the air, and they try and like take some of your slime, your ooze, and pass it around and roll it up into a little ball on their hind legs to try and play with you.
Wow. I'm gonna pet one of these creatures.
You do so. You reach down, and as you're petting along the top of their antenna, little critters like your slime seems to ooze around their body, dripping down like a waterfall. And you can feel there's this purring sensation underneath them. The carapace of their body just sort of rattles slightly, and against your ooze, it makes like a soft, sort of soothing motion for both you and them at the same time, as though warmth and love is being spread out betwixt the two of you.
Aww.
Little insect cats. They seem really delighted and happy to see you.
Okay. Well, now, so how's this work? I'm like, should I call up to Kaz and see if he can hear me? Hey, Kaz!
You yell out, hey, Kaz! And Kaz, you are still up above. You watch as he slurps down into the grotto below. And you can hear his voice through the bushes just fine.
Okay, and I say, Kaz, don't come down here, but I'm okay.
Okay, yeah, fine. You enjoying yourself down there?
Yeah, there's just some creatures here that would be harmful to your flesh, but they seem to be liking me.
Okay, better you than me. All right, I'll just if you need anything, let me know. I'll be standing right here. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, I'll call you.
Okay, we're on, pal.
Wow.
All right. You go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know if am I still allowed to keep going. I don't know how this works. Or I'm on a bonus mission or something. So
You are on a bonus mission. Absolutely,
Yeah.
you are.
Wow.
So, as you turn back up to him and look back down at the critters, you realize the one you've been petting seems to start glowing purple. The same coloration of your plasmoid body, as though the goop has somehow infused it with some bioluminescence.
Ooh. Nice. I say, come on with me. We're gonna go for a walk.
Go ahead and give me an animal handling check.
That's what I do. Okay. Animal handling check.
Yeah.
How do I do that? Where's that? What?
It'll be in
Should
your
be
character
number
sheet.
2 on your skills.
Okay, I see it. Yeah. Okay.
While you're
Wow.
doing that animal handling check and gonna go take your critter for a walk, Kaz, the doors open up behind you once again, and you see Chacho and Scorchmaple at odds with one another, but yet some sort of an understanding clearly has come across both of their faces. They turn around, and Scorchmaple and Chacho, you see that Alacuin is gone.
Wait. That's odd. The twigs on my arm have barely grown a centimeter, and yet he has disappeared. Where has he gone off to?
I love that.
Kaz, did he tell you any information or anything that might be useful to us assisting him or helping?
Did you
Me?
ingest him?
No, he just fell through a trap door. I mean, he's
What
he's
did he
with his
taste
own
like?
kind.
Oh, trapdoor. A trapdoor.
Yeah, why don't you yell down to him? Just come on down and just yell down to him and see. Well, actually, no, I'll just tell you what's going on. He went through a trap door. He found himself in this what did you call it?
Grotto.
Cab.
A grotto. He was in a
Grotto
grotto.
cavern.
Weird.
Why did you not
grotto
go down
cavern.
after him?
Because he's with other plasmoids and if they flesh-eating plasmoid type stuff down there.
Plasmoids.
I have no flesh.
What
Should
are
I-
they
Well-
doing here?
I think we're at a crossroads. Should we
This is
continue
most
in the
distressing.
tavern or assist Ultra, or should we just go our separate ways and meet back later?
I believe the drinks could wait.
Well, guys, I'm a
Curious.
human, right? I can't hang with you guys because you're made of wood. You're made of bone. You guys can go down there and hang with him. I can't go. I'll just stay up here and do down some beers.
But, my friend, you are donned in armor, are you not?
I don't know if that. I don't know. I don't know if that helps me or not. These things are like they're
Yes.
plasma, and I think they can get around all the edges and get inside and through the chain.
You don't know what's down there. All he told you is that these things will eat your flesh.
Yeah, I'm not proofed by anything, so it'll manage its way sooner, one way or the other. This situation is not made for a human. It all depends on learning more information about it. I mean, can I go down there with armor and chainmail and be protected from these things, or would I? Just...
Alacuin,
Yes.
hello.
Yes.
Are you safe?
I am. I'm safe down here. I'm not sure if my new friend here and his friends are going to be able to resist trying to eat wood or bone, or definitely not flesh.
What do they look like?
You switch from one pet to the other one, and as you begin petting it, it too begins to glow purple bioluminescence inside of it. You say, "Come on, come on!" and the critters immediately sort of leap and go, and they seem really excited about the journey with you. There's a little bit of a.
I've got some friends out here. I think I'm okay. If you guys want to try, it's up to you. But I don't want you to have to risk it for me. I don't feel afraid.
What do these creatures look like?
They're like little insect cats, and they glow when I pet them.
Could I?
It doesn't
In my
sound
time in
scary
the
in the
forest.
slightest.
Could I make a insight, animal handling, something to remember if I would have encountered a similar-looking creature in my travels across the forest?
Sure, absolutely. You go right ahead.
Animal.
You could do animal handling. You could do history. You could do nature. Any of these would be just fine.
We did an animal handling for 22.
So you are aware that what you believe that what he is talking about is a small little denizen, oftentimes found inside of caverns or right on the edge of like very hot terrains, oftentimes where desert and jungle meet against one another. By the way, this is an area where the desert and the jungle meet up against one another. You may remember when I told you earlier there's 3 different ways that you can go? One was back to SPC. One of them is to the desert, and the other one is to the jungle. Nevertheless, you're aware that these kind of little critters are almost like little mini thrycreens, if you're aware of what those are. The sentient bipedal sort of ant people. Right. They're similar to those, but as if they were merged with the DNA of like a lobster. Like a deep sea bioluminescent lobster type thing. And so they've got these claws, these lobster claws that are used for snapping and slicing that stay hidden inside of their carapaced body. And they only reveal them when they are about to attack something. Otherwise, they stay hidden inside of that chitin. And they've got these long sort of lobster-like tails that have this trident sort of ending that they can use to stick into rock and fling themselves further down into caverns or into other spaces. Kind of a vestigial element to their body from when they used to live inside of the oceans. They also use it as a shovel to dig their way through the sands. You know that these critters generally live in packs or swarms. That usually their swarms are located in like a bed of sand or a bed of jungle caverns, and that whenever you find rogue elements that aren't inside of their swarm, they're usually pretty easy to handle. They could kill a normal commoner, definitely. They could be dangerous, but to adventurers, wouldn't be much more than a hiccup to fight, unless of course you caught them swarming near their home or anywhere near the queen. That's when you know this would get really dodgy.
I don't like that you added that information. That is most distressing.
Yeah. These kind of you have a 22. You also know that they do not eat wood or bone. So props to you there. They do typically eat flesh. They are carnivorous creatures. And what they generally do is they have this acid inside of their mouths that they spit out onto the flesh. They digest the flesh right into the open. Then as it's being digesting, they snip little bits off with their claws and they take that back to the nest where they feed their swarms. One by itself usually doesn't eat a lot of flesh. Maybe like a couple toes. And that would keep them full for about a week.
Just a couple toes.
Just a couple toes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nothing that you really have to worry about. But yeah, you're aware of those creatures. They sometimes form nests at the basin of your trees.
All right. Well, I believe we could follow without too much difficulty. I do not believe these creatures to be a threat if they are what he is describing. Shall we follow? And I would like to make my way towards the center of the grotto.
Very well. You do so. And as you make your way down into the center of the grotto, you find yourself plummeting down beneath all the shrubs, the little leaves that have formed there. And as you land deep down onto the other side, there you are. You land right down onto the very top of Alacuin, and the fall damage here, I believe, is 30 feet down. So that would be 3d6s of bludgeoning damage as you hurtle through the thing. But luckily for you, it seems as though the root systems of the grotto have been made such that you fall very lightly on from one branch or root onto another. So you only fall the very last bit. And you take far less damage than before.
Nice.
Alacuin, being a plasmoid, just sort of lightly dripped down. You only take 1 bludgeoning damage. However, when you fall down, the strange cat-like things leap up from where they're being playful with Alacuin. They raise their antenna. You see their little mandibles open up, and they make a hissing sound like a cat. Sounds kind of like this.
Well done.
But then they realize you're made of wood, and they turn back to play with Alacuin. But they do want 2 of them. The ones that have been getting played with for less time do make their way a little bit away from you, closer to a little hole in the wall. So, Kaz and
I think we should.
what's everybody doing as he falls down or she falls down?
Well, I have a rope. I have a 30-foot rope, actually. Pitons. You want to climb back out? I can get anyone back out. If you don't want to hang, I'll be belay on.
Or we can have the skeleton climb back in, or you climb back in. No, I'm just checking. I don't know if you guys, the 2 of us should go on our own or not. Like, what do you think?
I would like to proceed in this tunnel as well. I think that a bonus is sound good. They might be hard, but I think we found it. Might as well go for it.
Now I'm supposed to lose a few toes in the process of joining you guys.
At least we know we're walking into here. We know we're walking into something bad here.
Well, you can stay up top if you want, and then we can lower our friend into the cavern with your rope.
Yeah. I got rope, and I'll get that out. I can lower you in there. But I don't think it's worth losing some toes. If you guys scope out the whole room and see where the tunnel's going, all that kind of stuff. If it's just one room, then check it out and let me know. I'll be hanging out up here. I brought my fold-up chair.
All right, I'm gonna walk over to the center. And Kaz, can we lower the rope? Use the rope to lower me.
You pull out your rope, and are you just gonna hold on to it and let him drop?
Oh no, I'm gonna anchor it onto a stump or something like that. But you said it's 30 feet deep.
You look around you up top, and you don't really see any great leverage points that you can use to tie off onto. It looks as though it's mostly barren rock and bush here. Looks as though all the big mighty trees are further away. The closest thing you've got is maybe like the edge of that garden, the stone manicured. Almost like
but if you look at my inventory, I have pitons.
Yes, you.
I'm one of those guys in.
All right, you want to just thwack.
I just go on the inside. I just go on the inside of the tunnel or whatever. The drop down, put in a piton, tie it up, and then lower them down.
Go give me an athletics check.
I'm sorry.
Give me an athletics check as you go to hammer this thing into the side and latch it.
All right. So I just go. What do I do? Sorry, I've only done like a roll a couple of times.
You're good. There's an abilities check called athletics. You're gonna find in the long vertical rectangle, which is to the leftmost side of your character sheet.
Dexterity. Nope. It's on the other one. Acrobatics.
It'll be really close to acrobatics.
Animal handling, Arcana, athletics. Okay, athletics. I got a +2, so I'm just gonna roll the die right now, right?
Yeah, you can hit the +2 on next to athletics, and it'll roll for you.
Okay, cool. All right. Ooh.
Oh, is that a critical failure? A nat 1?
Is this like? Is there like? Are there magnets in this dice or something, or what?
Now I will say, So just so you're aware, there is inspiration that you can burn. I'm not saying you have to burn it now, but I will let you know that Denim's got 2, Holy's got 1, you've got 2, Sean's got 0 so far, but you can use these at any given scenario. But anyway, would you like personal or would you like group pain?
Oh, me?
Now we get to find out what kind of person you are.
Me? Inspiration check? Okay, so how do okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'll do it. I'll take the hit on the inspiration check. So I just go up to my sheet, right?
I keep track of this for you. So I'll mark down 1 and you get to re-roll.
So I just roll, and is there any inspiration? Wisdom, charisma, dexterity.
No.
There's not a marker on your sheet for inspiration.
Inspiration is something that is unique to our game. Well, a lot of DMs use it, but unique to our game. It lets you, before I script anything, you may say, I use my inspiration, and it lets you re-roll the die and take whatever the newer total is, or the better total.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll the die now, right?
Yep, you can try to not get a nat 1. But
Okay,
you
hold on a
could get
second.
another nat 1.
Wait, hold on.
Could happen.
Everyone roll.
That would be awful.
Okay, here we go. No, wait. It doesn't want to clear. I'm gonna just put clear all. Okay, I'm gonna roll. Shoot, it's not rolling.
You just
D20,
click the
D12.
+2 on athletics again.
Oh, athletics again. Okay, sorry.
You're good.
I'm hitting it big today, aren't I?
You are. Everyone is. This is a great day for rolling. We've got 2 nat 1s, a 5. It's good. It's good.
Doing great.
Yeah.
So I get to re-roll again, though, right? You said I get one more roll.
You can if you want to burn the inspiration.
How's it gonna hurt me later?
That's the question.
That's the question. I mean,
Yeah.
we got. I'm rolling it for some bony dude who just wants to go out and check it out for himself. You know.
Can we
You
ask,
guys down there now.
can we ask the bony guy to do it instead? Maybe the bony guy should take your pylons and try to do it himself.
Yeah. I mean,
All right, so let me script what happens first, so you can make your decisions. As you go to take your pittons and hammer them down into the soft undergrowth, you watch as the dirt gives way all too easily. You just smash it down, and the dirt begins peppering and falling down onto Alacuin's head, begins merging into the ooze-like creature, and falling down onto the Dryad little flower. Boing! Pokes out of the top, and you sort of like look over at Chacho, the pitten, nowhere at all secured, just very loosely attached. You give him the big thumbs up. You did it.
What? So I mean, the piton's gonna like what? Just you know, I got it in, right?
Yeah, you got it in. The rope's attached.
All right. So are you ready to go, pal? We'll just make a
Give it a test, man.
I mean, he's made of bones. He can just like fall down there. He'd be
I
fine.
weigh a
Don't worry.
mere 33 pounds.
All right. So we'll lower you down.
I yell down as before I fall or before I go down the cavern. Alcuin, absorb my fall with your ooziness. If anything should happen, set up below me.
I'll catch you.
And I'm going down. Let's go for
I'm
it.
gonna
It's
move
my
out of the
passion.
way.
That's a good call. You do so. You move out of the way, further down into the Underdark. And now, Chacho, when you go over towards the edge of the grotto, you latch onto that rope, and then you just sort of like dive down backwards safely as anybody might if they were trying to rappel down a mountain or anything. And the pitten, loosely secured in the gravel, immediately breaks free. The rope goes tangling down with you, and you land, smashing down your bones onto several little areas on the way down. And on your way down, when this happens, the paper dragon in your body goes and spews the ink out onto the vegetation of the grotto. You notice that the ink is definitely quite flammable, and you're waving around this torch that you haven't dropped yet. So, make me a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
You should have just held the rope, Kaz. Just held the rope. It was only 30 pounds. Oh no.
That's so true.
I
really
didn't
should
know
have
it was
just
30
done that.
pounds. I should have, yeah. But I thought it was being
just
set
roll,
up.
right?
Come again?
I was just looking to see. I'm just gonna roll a d20 and then I have
Yeah.
+0. But
Absolutely.
Great. 10.
10. You and your companion both take 1 bludgeoning damage as you fall onto them. But with a 10, the fire streaks onto the edge of the grotto, the top of the grass, and it immediately starts to burn the vegetation. As soon as you fall down, the cat insect things immediately go to attack and then realize, nope, that's not flesh either. But they do this time back away completely back in there, or close to the hole.
There we
And am I taking any damage, or is my 33 pounds light enough to land?
You took 1 bludgeoning damage from the fall.
Okay.
Just the 1.
Can I pet one of my friends again? Because I want to bring one with us. I want a little light. So I'm gonna be like, hey, come here. It's okay. Let him sniff my buddies. And pet a couple of them.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
you
I
begin
don't-
petting
I made
him,
a flesh.
and you
Not you.
You begin petting the little critter, and like, come on over here, sniff this guy, sniff this bag of bones. You watch the little critter take his antenna and just sort of goes, boing, boing, tapping it against the edge of Chacho. Chacho.
Awesome.
Scorchmaple, anything you want to do? At this juncture, while you're down here, you can see that 2 of the Oozoth have stopped. It appears as though they were playing some sort of a game, but they have turned to watch you.
Is there a way to proceed forward towards those? What are those things? Those green things?
Those are the Oozoth. They're the same race as Alacuin, but these ones are green. They are lambent and glowing. You can easily tell from your position that this place down here has got several different chambers beyond the one that you're currently in. So there is like a rough, ramshackle village that you can see through the stone of these rooms, these corridors.
So maybe I should have a word with them.
I think so. I think that you should lead the way on that.
Perhaps.
You guys might be from a different tribe because you're a different color, so that you might be enemies, even though you're the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna just see how. I'm gonna say, greetings, fellow Oozoth. I am Alacuin the altruistic, and I believe that all Oozoth should be able to live in freedom and have our own houses on above the land. But I am happy to visit your abode here. May I enter with my friends?
The Oozoth, their slimy heads sort of rotate around to look at one another. Then they look back at you. The one takes his wooden staff, sort of clacks it onto the stone, and then says in sort of a strange, vibrous voice, "Yes, Alacuin, of course, you can come into the cloister. I am Bravado."
Greetings, Bravado.
You see
How
him
long-
look over and whisper to his other friend, but he then, like right as you're about to talk, interrupts you. You can tell that he's like he kind of knew you were talking when he interrupts you, kind of like I did just then, and says, "Your friends are welcome in the cloister as well. A Dryad and a skeleton are welcome people here." While they're getting acquainted, Kaz, how's it going?
Don't come here,
watch-
Kaz.
He
There's a part of me
watches
that wants to jump down and and join them and suffer a few toes, but I don't know. I don't know. if they're gonna go their own way and we're gonna be separated, I'll take a hit on a few toes. But otherwise, I'm gonna go to the tavern. I mean, to hell with it. I'll put that in my.
So
Nice.
yes, you will drop down and join them.
No.
Wait, whoa! I'm being persuaded here. Lose a few toes?
Well,
I mean,
No, go have a drink. I agree. Don't come. I don't think it's good.
yeah. I mean, maybe you can talk to your fellow plasmoids.
It's worth it.
and
You can always grow new toes.
I don't know if the plasmids will like a human though.
but maybe they can tell the little critter things to just chill out because that's part of their
Maybe
lair. They can
you said a skeleton was welcome, and a dryad was welcome. It sounds like other creatures
humans.
might not be welcome.
Humans get eaten down there. Remember?
Yeah,
all the drunk people that
that's what I mean.
stumble in there. I'm taking note of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's your place.
On
Well,
fire.
first of all, how are you guys planning on getting out of there if it's just a 3-chambered room with no way out? You need that rope, right? You might want to take that with you, and you want some people.
Oh, the rope is down there with them. The rope of the pit and fell into the hole.
All right,
Okay.
let's grab those.
I got a whole bunch of them. I'll chuck them down to you.
I'll grab my rope and pitten. Can I talk to them and ask them how long have they been gathered down here?
Yeah, give me 1 sec. Kaz, you turn back around to go towards the bar without your allies, and as soon as you walk up to the large palisaded wood door, it does not seem to open for you as it had so easily done before. The wood seems thick and hardy. How would you like to? There doesn't seem to be any available handle. How would you like to gain entrance to the tavern?
Guys, can you help me here? Can you help me? I mean, can I?
Fire.
No, I'm not gonna torture nobody's arson. I'm not into that, man.
Dryad
Now
does
it's
not
fun.
want that door burned down.
I guess I'm no longer welcome there. I got my beer making kit. I can just sit on the steps and make my own beer. Hell with them. Remember,
Fine then.
I mean,
If we're not allowed in this establishment, we're gonna have our own beer, and there's gonna be
Well, I
hookers
mean-
too.
listen, I mean, the good
Forget
thing
the
that
beer.
yeah, exactly. Chacho gave me like half his loot as like money. I got money to spend. You don't want to take my money? That's all right. I mean, all right. Well, any recommendations, guys? Can I yell? Can I make this huge yell and like let me in? I know
Well,
I'm
no.
walking into.
It's up to you.
Okay, so
Give
I
me-
pound.
oh.
I pound. Okay, I pound on the door. First of all, I yell and I say, "Can I please come in?" And what happens?
You pound and yell on the door with furiosity to be let in, and from your perspective, you do hear the sounds of the door rattling. And as the doors rattle to you, you can hear a little solemn voice speaking out from inside of the wood, singing softly, almost like in that Dryadic tone that Scorchmaple has been hearing, but this time you kind of understand it. Somehow it begins to translate, and you hear the door saying, "I speak without a mouth, and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?"
You should ask your friends.
What's that?
Ask your friends.
Okay, I need my friends. Can I call friends? Yes, I'd like to ask my friends. What the hell does this riddle mean? I mean, remember, I'm not the most intelligent person. If you take a look at my sheet, so I need some help here.
I think it's a wind instrument, like a flute or some type of wind instrument.
A door is a wind instrument.
No, it's the clue. The clue says it comes alive. It has a voice in the wind, right? It's a riddle.
I can send this to you if you prefer. In Discord. In case you're not auditory people. I, myself, am not an auditory human. Do not like... I need, like, visuals.
Okay, so there it is. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. Oh, I hear without ears. That's interesting. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. Oh. Here. What am I? Sorry, I didn't hear the hear without ears part. It's interesting.
Hear without ears, but you come alive with the wind. trying to figure out.
Now, to be
Speaking
clear,
of them,
you also, if your character would not care to answer the riddle or would not know the answer to the riddle, you don't have to answer the riddle either. I mean, you can do other things.
That's
no,
why
no, I want to play with this a little bit, but I speak without a mouth and hear without ears.
we can think about this. That's why he asked us, because his character wants in to drink the beer. And we have to get him in there. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. It does still sound like something like an echo or something, or it hears without ears. That's interesting.
I have no body but come alive. But I come alive with. What am I? Anyone else can figure this out? Excuse me.
No body.
But I come alive with the wind. What am I? I mean, when it comes alive, do you want it to come alive? That's the other question.
Speak without, because it has to speak somehow, so it has to make noise, but it also has to hear. That's the hardest part for me, is the hearing part.
So
No
I've tried
body.
to go into some sort of trance with this object.
I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. Hear without ears. Hear it.
May I suggest perhaps that we proceed down here while Gus or Kaz ponders his riddle? He's soon to be up there by himself, alone.
You
I'm yelling down
absolutely
to you.
can. There's
All right, sorry to bore you guys. I mean, why don't I just I don't know.
I personally, as a player, hate riddles. So I would not be enjoying riddle time, which is why I told you at first, you don't have to do riddle time, right? You don't have to.
I'm gonna take Scorch's idea and just scorch the door. Then, I mean, why not?
Ooh, no, you're gonna start a fight. Don't do that.
I'm all alone. It's gonna be a lot more fun without you guys. No, I'm kidding. All right, I'll ponder on this riddle. You guys have fun down there.
Sure, you can hazard any guesses you'd like, or anything that you and your team comes up with. Regardless, we go back down to those of you who are underneath the earth, the Oozoth that have allowed you access. And what is it that you had said?
I wanted to ask them how long they've been down there. What, like, kind of a quick history of what this is about.
They raise their arms to you and say, "We have been here for some time enough to be forged into what we are now. Similar, perhaps, to you, and how long you certainly must have been inside of the earth."
That greenness is interesting. What do you guys think? Do you want to go in, or do you want to just get back to Kaz?
Yes. Oozoth,
Yes.
may I inquire why? How long have you been here? Like, in this particular spot? Why outside the tavern?
The other Oozoth steps forward now, not bravado, and this one speaks completely differently, and instead says, "I've been here for about 3 years now. They feed
Figured out
us."
the riddle, guys.
Oh,
Yeah, you think about it, we're the detritus of the world, sitting down here in the deep darks, kind of like a sewer, really. And all the unwanted things are just left beyond down here. I mean, you should know all about it, though. Your people are the ones who feed us.
interesting.
People are the ones who feed us. So they draw these people into this tavern, and then they fall in.
He snaps you and goes, but the other guy behind him, he doesn't say anything to you, and the other guy behind him sort of has that vibrous tone again and says, "Exactly how it works."
Oh.
Well, that makes sense. Yes, there's nothing to be concerned about.
The one guy says to you again, or raises his hand back with a thumb and says, "Do you perhaps want to come back in and check out what we've got? It's a lot better than the bar up top. We've got our own stuff down here, way stronger."
I'm always down for stronger. Kaz is going to be missing out.
Are things echoing down there? Because I hear.
Oh
an
yeah,
echo.
you can hear them through the raging fire.
Wow,
Oh.
Kaz is really going to be upset that he missed out on this stronger alcohol and other refreshments.
And it's echoing up the tunnel to the door, maybe.
Yes.
It
It is.
echoes.
Yes.
Hint. Say no more.
Yeah, echo. That's what I thought was maybe the answer to your riddle. Could be. Wow.
Will the doors open now that things are echoing from the tunnel? The shaft.
You can guess if you want, like you can say to the door, echo. But yeah, the sound itself or the echoes from the thing don't open the door. It's waiting for a response.
Okay, we'll get to that later. You guys have fun down there. When it's my turn. Sorry, I'm going.
Well, I think it is your turn right now. What did you want to do? They're talking to you right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to open these doors. So I'm just gonna say, "Are you an echo?"
The door sighs. Yes, I am an echo.
Nice.
And well done. +1 inspiration for door opening.
Good job, buddy.
By the way, I am impressed because I suck at riddles. So good job, team. But
So how
you're
do I add a
not-
+1 to my sheet? Do I add like +1 to my sheet or something?
He does
You just
it.
have
Sorry.
The DM takes care of inspiration.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, thanks. That's
to-
right.
Yep. You can write it off to the side if you want, but there's nothing on your sheet for it.
Okay. Thank you.
There is technically an inspiration like bubble, but the rules as written don't allow them to stack, and ours do stack, so it ends up being a vestigial thing that doesn't matter. Anyway,
Okay,
Kaz,
good.
you walk into the dark tavern. You get the smell of that, that damp cavern, the scent of the wine, sort of sweet mixing into the rest of the room when you get inside of the place. The doors do responsibly close behind you once again as you make your way inside. What do you want to do? The gnomes look over at you like, hello to this guy. What's he coming back in for? Is he lost?
I want to say to the door, "Are you an echo?" to see if it opens back up. Out the other. It swings the other way too. Well, not the other way, but you know what I'm saying. That I
I
can get
do.
out. That I'm not trapped in there.
You go over to this door, and as you go to leave, the door is just immediately they open. Not even any need of a passcode.
Okay,
Oh.
I'll turn around and. So anyway, so I'm sorry. You're saying the people inside are suspicious? I can smell the sweet wine.
No, they basically watched you walk in and out and in and out to this place, and they're like, he's already drunk.
Nah, I just have
Yes,
OCD. Don't worry about it. I pace back and forth. Yeah. I'll tell you what. So no, I'm fine. I'm just standing right there. I'm like, okay. So I have to take off my my armor. Oh boy, I don't have anyone to back me up on this one. But what the hell? Let's just jump into it. I don't want to be
Yeah.
careful right now.
Let's
Tired of
just
being
jump
careful.
right in.
Yeah, I'm taking off the armor, putting down my broadsword, my shield, my breastplate. I'm allowed to keep my chainmail, or that has to go too.
It's gotta go. It's all gotta go.
This is like, you can't even wear your chainmail at a bar. This is like asking for it, guys.
I
But
thought this
I-
was America.
I don't feel good about this, but I want things to progress for better or for worse. So I tell
As a
you what.
Canadian, it makes a lot of sense to me. Like, like why would you even have it in the first place? Like,
Yeah, but you come from Canada where they close bars or drinking establishments at like 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. All the bars close. It's like, how are you supposed to make any money that way?
it's 2 a.m., but they still close earlier for usually. Yeah.
Not
And that's why
listen.
they invented day drinking.
We did.
There was, I tell you what, when I lived in Canada, it was like there were like 2-3 bars in the whole city, the whole area that were open late, and the rest of them were like, oh no, yeah, we're gonna close down at 10 p.m. We don't want to like be open that late. We got families to get back to, you know. We gotta get a good start to the day tomorrow, eh? We don't want to take too much time.
That wasn't in my neck of the woods, though, was it? That was the.
Yeah, it was different.
I like that the accent though. That was funny.
So
Anyway.
I'll bear all. They're very good stuff. I'll bear all. What the heck?
Do it.
Very
I've
well.
been playing too careful.
And as you begin to strip down, some of the one of the gnomish ladies from afar eyes you up and goes, as she sees like your strong muscles, this big, strong body as you're taking off all the armor and all that jazz. One of the other gnomes just sort of like pushes her on the shoulder, like, hey. And they sort of go back to their meal. But one of the other ones notices, the older one, got like a sort of salt and pepper hairstyle. And that guy looks over and sort of goes, look, little old Deli's got a crush. And he starts loudly picking on her so you can hear. Beyond that, we go down, while you're doffing your armor, which does take a considerable amount of time, I go back to the other team deep below the earth. Speaking to the Oozoth, they just ask if you wanted to go back and get a harder drink. You've said, oh, Kaz is sure gonna miss out. But you don't hear any reply other than the sounds of the fire burning up above you.
I'm sure he's fine. He's a big guy. Let's go see what's going on in here. What do you think?
Let us proceed, yes. Hit us with these stronger drinks.
The Oozoth turn around and immediately begin to lead you further in, but the little critter stays behind.
Oh. Bye, buddy. Can I wave bye-bye?
You do. You wave bye-bye at the critter. And when you do so, you make your hand like oozes into the shape of his tail, the little trident tail, and does a little wave. And he waves the trident tail back. You can see it moving away. Clearly, these animals have some intelligence to them. And the little strange insectoid cat dives down into the ribcage of a dead creature. Gives himself a little hollow burrow in there. The other two come out and seemingly worm their way into the trash as well, awaiting the next unsuspecting victim.
Yes.
Isn't it so nice the way you say that? They're just gonna cutely sit there inside of the rib cage and wait for their next victim. That's how that works. You make your way around the corner, and as you pass a few of the ramshackle houses, you can hear some kobolds, some draconic folk speaking in a draconic language, chattering amongst themselves. And then you finally see this smallish chamber, only has about 3 tables. There's another Oozoth that's talking to a snake, and the Wanti, the snake person, both of them seem to be exchanging trinkets of some kind. You can see a glittering egg-shaped vestibule sort of passing between their hands. It almost looks like something you'd see in a cathedral of some kind, a relic. The Oozoth is quick to slurp it into his body, and the snake sort of says, "You stay quiet about this. I don't want this coming back to me." Meanwhile, a tiefling across the room, known as a devilkin, you see them raising oh my gosh. Frying pan. He has a frying pan in his hand, and he's raising it over top of a piece of wood that seems to be red hot, as though the wood is somehow a Bunsen burner. And you can see him just lifting an egg up into the air, a real strange thing as he's cooking it into the back corner. There's a couple different rows of booze under the shelf behind him, and as he tosses the egg into the air, it doesn't look like he's gonna catch it. He reaches down behind him, does like a dive into the center of the room, whew, catches it right at the last second. And as he picks himself up off of the floor, some dust spraying around, that's when y'all finally enter. He looks over to you, raises his eyebrows for a second. You begin to clap, and he says, "Whew, boy, I'm sure glad I caught that one. Otherwise, I don't know what would have happened. You'd have to tune in next time on D&D to find out."